Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in today. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing 5 budget-friendly meal ideas that you can prepare for your kids to take to school or that the family can have as a whole, okay? So these food ideas are they're not something new. They are basic rice, beans, yam, and so on. But for me, I have found different way to prepare food items so that we don't get bored eating the same meal the same way over and over again. Okay. So our very first meal today is plantain with sauce. My kids like to call it sausage sauce. So our tomato base is a combination of fresh tomatoes, garlic, onions, pepper, green bell pepper, and of course sausage. So what I simply do is I put it in a grinder or a blender or a food processor, and I just grind it. We're looking for something textured here. We're not looking for something smooth. So if you have a food processor or if you have a chopper, the better, okay? So after you grind it, what I do is I put it in a saucepan and I kind of cook out the water. As soon as the liquid dries up, I add my vegetable oil and then I just start frying it, okay? And then I add my favorite spices, which are curry and thyme, and then I also add scent leaf. If you have scent leaf, you can use scent leaf. If you have parsley or coriander, you can add that. But what I added here is uziza. Yes, I also use uziza to make sauce. I love the flavor it lends to my sauce. And then you can also add any protein of your choice. For me, I decided to add boiled eggs to the sauce today, okay? And wow, this sauce is amazing. Like, I'm not saying it just because I'm making a video. This sauce tastes very good. Ever since the first time I made it, I haven't stopped making it. My kids are constantly asking for it. Now, the second meal idea is rice, and you can just call it chicken coconut sauce. So, the kind of chicken I'm using here is soft chicken. So that's what I'm using here. I'm using soft chicken here. That's why I didn't boil it initially. Besides, I wanted to cook everything in one pot so that the flavor of the chicken will go into the sauce. So basically, I start by heating up the pan. I add my vegetable oil. Then I put in my onions and my garlic, and I allow that to cook for about 2 to 3 minutes. Then I add my chicken, and the chicken I seasoned it overnight, by the way. So you can do that overnight and just keep it in the fridge for the next day. Okay. So I put in the chicken and I allow it to cook for about 2 to 3 minutes on each side. Then after that, I add my tomatoes. Then I also add that's my fresh tomatoes. Then I also add my tomato paste. I'll mix that up, let it cook for a while, and then I'll add my favorite spice. You can use any spice of your choice, okay? Then after that, I added the coconut cream. You can use coconut cream, you can use coconut milk, whichever you prefer, okay? Then after that, after I added the coconut milk, I found out that the consistency was quite thick, so I had to loosen it up with water. My kids do not like to see green bell pepper, green, yellow, red bell pepper in their meals, but I always like to add it in, especially my sauce, because of the flavor it lends to your meal. So what I do is I simply use them in small quantities. If your kids enjoy them, then you can put as much as you like, okay? Then after that, if you also have scent leaf, or if you have parsley or coriander, you can also add, okay? It kind of takes the flavor from 1 to 10, okay? And honestly, this sauce is really amazing. It tastes delicious. Now, the third meal idea is yam and our basic egg sauce. Yam and our basic egg sauce. I've seen a lot of people prepare egg sauce on YouTube, and most of the time, when they prepare egg sauce, it looks like scrambled eggs. And I do not like my egg sauce to look like that. I kind of like it to look and feel saucy. When you say sauce, you're talking of something juicy. So for me, the ratio of tomato to eggs, I like the tomato to be more than the eggs. I don't like to add a lot of eggs because I still want my sauce to feel like a sauce, not like scrambled eggs. So after I fry my tomatoes, I add my favorite seasoning, my favorite spices. Okay, then I always try to loosen it up with water because, like I said before, I want it to be somewhat juicy. I don't want it looking like scrambled eggs. So I always try to add not a lot of eggs. Here I was using, I think I used 3 eggs. Yes, I beat 3 eggs, and that's what I poured in right now. And then I'm going to stir it. And at the end of it, it felt like a sauce. It didn't feel dry and dry or looking like scrambled eggs. I don't like my sauce looking like that, okay? And basically that's just it. I also most of the time when I'm preparing sauce, I always like to add either green, yellow, or red bell pepper because of not so much about the colors because the color wasn't really showing here because I added a little, but it's just about the flavor it lends to your meal. Okay. So, yeah, our meal is ready right now, and I'm going to dish out their lunch for the day. So, the next meal on our list is our basic beans and plantain. My kids love eating beans, and I have found different ways to prepare it. I can prepare it with palm oil, the usual way. I can make sauce for it. I can also cook it with vegetable oil, tomatoes, green pepper, carrots, fish, sausage, or any protein of my choice. Okay. I have found different ways to prepare beans so that my kids don't get bored with it. All right. So for this particular menu, I'm going to be preparing it with fresh tomatoes, onions, garlic, plantain, very ripe plantain, and then my protein of choice is sausage. So basically, I blend everything together, and then I just start by adding vegetable oil to my pot. Then I'll add my onion and garlic and let that cook for a while. And then I'll pour in my blended tomato and just cook that for a while. And after I've cooked out the liquid, I'll add the sausage, mix that up, loosen it up with water, and then I'll spice it, my curry and my usual curry and thyme. And oh, if you have cloves, have you ever tried cooking your beans with clove? Try it. Not beans and palm oil. Oh. If you want to prepare beans like this, if you have cloves, try adding cloves. But please, when you want to add cloves, you have to add it in very, very small quantity because the flavor, it can be really, really is very, very potent. Okay, and it can overpower your food if you put in a lot of it. Okay, so, but I don't have cloves. I do have cloves, but it's not ground yet. That's why I'm not using it here. So I just simply used thyme and curry. And then when it's ready, I'll add my plantain, add my sausage, then add my beans. I always try to prepare my beans to cook it in a large quantity, and then I just freeze it so that it's easier for me to prepare in the morning. And again, I added my green bell pepper for flavor as well. And basically, our meal is ready. This, like, preparing this won't even take you more than 20 minutes, and like very, very fast, very, very fast. And this meal, by the way, was very, very delicious. So the last meal on our list is coconut spaghetti. But before I say anything, let me apologize for this footage you're seeing right now. So on the day I created this video, I created it for shorts as well. Okay, so at the end of after I made the short, I deleted the main footage. Okay, so the version you're seeing now is the short version. So I really want to apologize for that. But basically, this meal is just a usual spaghetti, but I used here. I only used fresh tomatoes, just very little. Then I also used onion and garlic, and basically I just start by frying my chicken. And when that was ready, I took out the chicken, and in the same pan I added my onion, my garlic. I fried that up, and then I added my fresh tomatoes, and then I loosened it up with coconut cream. Yes, and after I added the coconut cream, I put back my chicken into the sauce so that I wanted it to absorb that coconut flavor. Yeah, so after I cooked the chicken in the coconut sauce for a few minutes, I took out the chicken, and then I added the spaghetti, and I stirred everything, and then I cooked it for a while. The reason I removed the chicken was because I didn't want it scattered while I'm, stirring the spaghetti. And basically, that's it. I added my spices, I added salt, I added a seasoning cube, and yeah, basically, that was it. And this meal tasted delicious. You can try that out and let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Leave me a like, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about the video. Let me know if you want a part two. I have many more meal ideas. Okay, I'll see you in my next one. Thank you so much. If this is your first time in my channel, I appreciate you. Bye.